Okay. So, well, it's when you say you've been living a dream.
Yeah. Well, living the dream is waking up every morning, letting the
Okay.
good Lord put breath in my lungs every morning. That's the first part of the dream.
It's funny how a lot of people don't support that. They just don't get it until they get of age, get up past these 40, to really see what that means.
Well, I was I can't remember who I having conversations with, but I was like, th- there's a Jewish tradition
Uh-huh.
that whenever they go to the restroom, they thank God.
Oh, okay.
And I can appreciate that. And I do
Yeah.
too, because when you have surgery, until you have a catheter and you go through all that
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
don't understand how blessed you are to be able to do it, dude, look, you got to give thanks. We got to start giving thanks in the small things, man.
Well, I was just want to say, I was just kicking a little bit, but welcome to the Talk to Me on Tuesdays. That's what we're talking about. What happened over the weekend? What brought Monday? Because a lot of people dread Mondays. I'm not sure why, because I treat my Mondays and Fridays just the opposite. So my Mondays is my Friday, and my Friday is my Monday. So I just stay even keel. But how did your weekend
Mhm.
go?
They go well, man. And they go as
I think I lost your voice.
you did. You hear me now?
That's strange because the meter is reacting, but
I, I don't. Now I can't hear you.
me.
Okay, now I can hear you. I couldn't hear you before.
Okay.
And can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, I hear you now.
Okay. Technology. That's why I say, yeah, it ain't all what it's cracked up to
They
be.
always cracked up to be, man. It's all
Yeah.
it's always something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you were telling me about your gutter two in the rainy season earlier before we got started.
Yeah, actually, this weekend, it was a busy weekend, just personal stuff. But what I've been working on for the last week and a half is just tracking. Um, sales is one thing, but if you're not making growth, then your sales ain't gonna never get there anyway. So what I've been
Okay.
doing is just tracking my growth month per month, based on last year,
Okay. All right.
and which has been really great. So it's been increasing.
Okay. So tell me something. For what belief did you have 10 years ago? We kind of hit on that earlier. That was completely wrong. Say 10 years ago. Now you see a whole different light. Something that you thought you was on track. And then you finally like, oh, way off on that one.
That could be a lot of things,
Right,
man.
right. You and me both.
Yeah, that could be a lot of things. The older I get, thank goodness, I get a little wiser. I'm not gonna say smarter, cause intellect don't get you nothing. And this is what I always explain to my children. There's a difference between intellect and wisdom.
Hmm.
See, intellect, you know what to do. Wisdom, you know why you're doing it, how to do it, and when to do it. And
Okay.
that's a big difference.
Hmm. Well, when you intellect, wisdom, you're talking about wisdom and things of that nature. So, if there's one thing that you can say that change your mind or change your tempo direction that you were going into, that you were doing 10 years ago, because you didn't have the gutter tool. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Derek Thompson is the inventor of the gutter tool. You didn't have that then. So now that you have it, what changed? Like you say, well, I can create some more products, or that product will stick with and make do with it, become famous or be popular with it,
But
make
no, my
relationships.
my core business, which is metal fabrication. Let me take you just historically back, on my journey.
Okay.
My first, I started out in an assembly plant in the factory. And from that point, I went to school and then I became a draftsman. And while I became a draftsman, I was still a die maker and die setter at GM.
Okay.
So my background started in vehicle design and engineering. So I end up working for F Ford in product development. I opened my own company, which I was the only African American design and engineering company
Okay.
in the country. There was a couple others, and I knew them, but let's just say the majority owners were white.
Uh-huh.
So, and we were the only 100% black company around. Long story short, so going through that, because I got all of the work nobody wanted or nobody could do. I hit home runs on that. Didn't make millions, but I finished every project I started, which was a feather in my cap. And so right after 9/11, engineering for black companies wasn't a good thing no more because
Okay.
in engineering, all the cream get taken off the top, and then the OEM start looking for money through the supplier cause all the engineering companies done raped them blind. They didn't they done took all the profits. So after 9/11, I had to switch gears and I got into manufacturing. I started doing government work. I started designing armor, building armor, shipping armor. um, Played in the defense industry probably for 7, 8 years. Did very well in that arena. Then I switched over to material handling, which is what I do now, building shipping racks and containers and stuff.
Mhm.
So basically, I do anything steel, whether it was armor or regular steel. That's what I do.
Okay. And for those who are listening, you can call in at 248-736-2100. That's 248-736-2100. We'd like to hear from you. We would love to answer any questions you may have. So, Derek, if you lost every dollar, every contact, and every business connection tomorrow, what would be the first thing you do in the first 30 days? What would you do?
Make new
If you
friends and
lost
make new
everything, money,
contacts.
contacts, business,
Just
what would you
make
do to
new
start?
contacts. Look here,
Okay.
you always have your mind. So your mind is your file cabinet. So
Okay.
no matter what you lose external, internal, you always got a Rolodex.
Okay. Would you cry?
You know,
You know, like some of the people are playing sports and they're in the Super Bowl or they're in a championship for basketball. At the end, and they lose the championship. You know, you see them where like this Desiree just tears coming down. Some of these people are like, it's just a game, you know. Yeah, but they put their heart and soul into it. So I'm sure you got your heart and soul into it. But would you immediately start crying right then, or would you say, no, let's pick up my boots. Let's get this work done. We got to go. We got
oh
to.
no, no, dude, you have an emotional breakdown. Don't let nobody tell you no
Okay.
different. Whether
Okay.
they do it in public or in a bathroom stall, it don't matter.
Yeah.
You gotta get it out because if you don't, it'll haunt you. There's no way you can make a sound decision till you get
Mhm.
the frustration, anger, and all of that. And that's what you learn over time. You
Okay.
learn over time. You know what? After you get it out a few times and you keep moving, you learn that part ain't even necessary no more. Just solve the problem and keep moving. But
Yeah.
you got to go through that process. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I mean, and for me with the gutter tool, that's why working on this gutter tool to me is a piece of cake. And sometimes I get antsy about it, but I've succeeded at other things, and
Okay.
I don't base success on always the dollar amount. I base it on what did I learn? What do I got in my toolbox? What what
Right.
do-
Right.
what is my network? Did I build a network out of this? And so now this is where all the fruits are. Those first 30 years, this is where they pay their labor now. See, this is where the fruit come in.
Mhm. What invention or technology scares you the most or excites you? You know, what scares you the most?
A-
A new technology.
AI, AI
AI
scared
scares
me the
you.
most
Yeah.
because people are misinformed
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
it's too it's too vulnerable to be misused, and it will be misused. If there's anything that you can attach profits with or making money, it's going to be misused.
Hmm.
And I think it got unleashed to the public and society at a time when it shouldn't have got unleashed.
Okay.
And this was just all about governmental money and certain portion of America wanted to make as much as they could off the top
Okay.
before the market got saturated. So, you know, that's the part about all of that technology that bothers me. We've gone past the point of it being beneficial and helpful to
Hmm.
people, and more concerned with profitability and how much can we make. And
Hmm.
so then everybody become lab rats.
So, what's the biggest lie society tells our young people, our young entrepreneurs, that you think the biggest lie?
Oh,
There's lots of them, right?
oh yeah, I'm about to say yeah.
So many.
Pick and choose. I mean, it's not so much as what society, the biggest lie society tell people. It's just
Mhm.
the parents and the people that they surround themselves with. Here's the thing, D. You got to surround yourself with truth tellers.
Okay, there you go.
When you surround yourself with truth tellers, you may not always like what they say, but you can bank on it. You know it's for your good.
How do you
So
know that they're truth tellers, though? I mean, what gauge or what parameter you
when
using?
you get to see how they operate over time. You get to see how they live. You know what I mean? You one of the things when I meet people, man, it was a few different things. But even in business, if I'm in a negotiation or I'm in a meeting, I already know what I need to hear. So that's not what I'm listening for. I listen for all the stuff that I don't hear.
Okay, yeah. Well, now I don't want to be asking all the questions. I want you to throw you got. I'm sure you got
Uh,
some things on your mind. Put some things on me or put some things out there. I did have a caller, and I reached around to try to get the caller. Let me see if I can get him if he's still on hold or not. Call back, but yeah, feel free to shoot me some questions too. What I think or my thoughts. Nobody usually asks me about my thoughts. I guess nobody cares.
no, no, I mean, so yeah. So what do you think is the biggest lie society tell young people right now?
I think lies can be the truth can be construed it just so thin. It is that you can go right or left so easily. I just think it's too easy. It's so easy to lie and people believe it because no one's doing any research. I think we really should stress to research whatever information you're picking up or pulling in or withdrawing from or getting your news from. Research it, and nobody seems to want to read a book or research or and it's even more made simpler today. Although there are
Mm.
lies on the research section too, but you compare it, and then you also, like I heard a comedian say that when you were born, as you get raised as a kid, you already know internally not to kill your mother or kill your father. You know what I'm saying? That's what has to teach you that. You just know not to do that. So I think there are certain things that you can compare some of your truth and not that certain things are that sounds makes sense. But then too, if you are not a sensible person, I guess you really might have to struggle with that on what makes sense.
Well, that's why it's important for you to surround yourself with truth tellers. Because the truth, here's the thing about the truth, man. It never goes away and it will stand up and be there no matter what.
Yeah,
It's not a moving target. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, Even with my kids, it's like when I tell you something, don't take it for don't take my word for it. Go do the research. Then
Do
come back, and if you agree with me, then that's fine. And that's one good thing. That's one of the things that I always give Maria so much credit for.
Mhm,
As our kids were young, before they got out of school every summer, dude,
mhm.
they all went to the library and had to get 3 books to read during the summer. So my kids
Okay,
read. I'm probably the worst reader in my house, big time.
okay.
That's why I got them. Um, but it's so important. But you can't be gullible. You can't be trendy. Right now, trendy will take you down, take you down a river that you can't come back on.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what's wrong with people right now, man. And they don't see it. You can move 2 degrees off right now, and 6 months from now, that 2 degrees is 15 degrees off. And then you try to figure out, well, how did I get over here? Well, you gotta go back and see where it started. What was the root cause of this? And that's what we don't do a good job at.
Right. We just got a caller in. Caller, can you hear us? Can you hear him, Derek?
No.
Okay. You have a question? So I got a call in, but I'm not sure if Derek can hear you. You said something about the environment. You asked Derek how does he feel about the environment, or successful business when it comes to environment trends in today's environment. Okay. Did you want to leave a name or no name at all? Okay. Okay. I gotta see what's wrong with my system. Why it's not picking up? It's picking up on. I have to work on that. So he's saying, DT, what do you think about the environment strains they have on businesses that, especially in today's trend with today's political environment? Yeah, yeah.
Is Look at here. As much as I think, and this is just my opinion, and I could be 100% wrong, but being a small business guy over the last 30, 35 years,
Hmm.
we've never, not too many small businesses ever benefit from the small businesses programs that our government ever put in place.
Okay.
Just like when people start hollering about DEI, DEI has never done anything for not 95% of the black companies I know. There's a 5%, the Dave Beans and the Benny Johnsons, who was gonna get it irregardless. So that takes up that 5%. So
Okay.
that tell you where the other 95% is at. Because when they bring out these criterias, corporate America, the good old boy network, has already figured out how to win.
Okay.
Because what they already got business there as a Caucasian company. So when DEI comes out, it's never you just a black company. It's a black woman-owned business, yada yada. So they put their daughter in business or their wife in business. The buyer already know them. It fulfills the criteria of diversity because she a woman, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with
Yeah,
that.
you just well, if you when you looking at what I say, when you go into business, you have to go into business because you got a passion for it and you believe in it.
Hmm.
Because if you do it just to go make money, this is where a lot of the disappointments come. Unless you got some real quick, rich tech here today, gone tomorrow, and you can get people to buy into it. But long, there's not a lot of organic businesses being popping up nowadays because now you have third party competition, overseas competition, just the whole
Yeah.
9 yards. And even tariffs. I mean, I just got hit with tariffs in my little small business. And
Yeah.
not that it really bothers me, but I look at those who it will bother. So there's the deck is always stacked against you. That's
Always.
first and foremost.
Yeah.
So you just got to figure: are you in this for the long haul, or you got to know where your pain point is at? How much pain can I take?
Well, speak of pain, I mean, with the truth about success, what truth about success that would make motivation speakers angry that you can tell about your success or someone else's success? That when motivation speakers are out there, spewing whatever they're trying to say or get across, what do you think that what type of success would make them angry?
See, but the
What they're
first
preaching
thing,
on,
D, is everybody have a different definition of success
right?
in their mind. So that's the first thing. Um, that's why you have to be able to define your own success. For me, it believe me, I like money like everybody else. Don't get me wrong, and
Right.
I can spend it just as good as everybody else. But it's never been about the money to me. When I look back, nobody in my family ever owned a business or did anything professionally. So I'm the first one to ever do that. So I had to take the
Right.
time to nurture my children through this, even in my business endeavors. When me and Maria didn't have money, couldn't pay bills, I let the kids know. They needed to know. Yeah, life is hard, but you never give up. You pick yourself up. You never give up. So a lot of my friends used to tell me, man, I never tell my kids. I'm like, so how they ever gonna learn? I'm like, my kids need to learn. They need to learn this is life, and they lived through it with us, through the hard times. Now they enjoy the good times with us. So I just say success, you have to determine in your mind what success is. And for me, it's been the people I've met. It's been the people I've been able to help. Because at the end of the day, I could always say Derek did it his way. Because I can't take none of the money with me. But what I could leave is hopefully is a legacy that people say, you know what? He was a man after God's own heart. And if I could get that accolade, that's good enough for me.
Do you think it's hard to bring kids into, like if you start off from college, I guess, or high school, and you start a business, would you think it'd be hard to bring kids in? Or I know most, and this is just my opinion, I think most kids, they're not really planned. They just come here. They just happen. So you really, at least for me, I know that my kids came because God says time for them to come whenever, but I didn't plan on it. And I know a lot of people don't plan on it, but if you got your mind into your business, would you say, I also want to divvy up the time for kids having family, or how does that
Well,
work? What would you tell
well, you
somebody?
know what, D? That was one of the things, and when I was in corporate America, that was one of the things used to always make people angry. They never said it, but I never missed one of my kids' softball game or basketball game or volleyball game. And I realized, okay, I know this is pissing you guys off, so that's why I decided to do my own thing. So even when I deal with some of my customers, like my Honda engineers and some of my
Mhm.
Ford engineers, one of the things the young guys I always tell them: never, never trade time with your family for work. I
Right.
know it sound good and look good, but it's gonna come a time where you'll regret it because it's
Yeah.
gonna be something you miss that you'll never get back. You can always make money. I mean,
We
it's out
we
here.
got
They
another
print it every day.
about another 5, 10 more minutes. If you want to call in at 248-736-2100, 248-736-2100, you're talking to the magnificent, the popular, the demanding, the man who's on top of the hill, Derek Thompson,
Uh,
who's created Better Tool. And we love you so much. Thank you for spending the time with us on Talk to Me Tuesday. I just try to talk about life and try to help people out as much as possible. We did get one call. I think some people are calling in on my Twitch, and I gotta hook that up so that I can see them and as they have text messages or whatever. But if they have other messages, I will forward them to you, Derek. Some questions that they may have as well. You and I can get to the grindstone and try to work that out. I know Dr. Howard is having a thing coming up. How do you feel about that? Are you excited? Are you looking forward to it? Or
oh,
you're going? I know
very
you're
no,
going.
I'm very excited.
Okay.
Great cause, and actually, I got back. I'm gonna take care of it today. I'm not so sure I can make the event. I am trying, but this my daughter will be here for her baby shower,
Okay.
and it's just so much going on. Maria's knee surgery, knee
Yeah.
replacements done, and
Yeah. I get it.
but at the very least, I am gonna buy the ticket. And then if I can make it, I'm trying to do it in a 1-day junket. Just
Yeah.
fly
Yeah.
over to the event,
Have
see this
lunch,
event
come
over,
back.
jump in, go back to Midway, and head
Yeah.
home, man.
Nothing
Yeah.
you ain't
So
used to.
I'm gonna try to still squeeze it in, but the very least, I have to support it. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I just have to. Well,
Yeah.
we as Black Americans or Black people, period, whether it's
Mhm.
American, African, I don't care what it is, we got to start to do a better job of supporting and and lifting up each other because out of the 35 years I've been in automotive and I've been in defense, now I'm in the commercial sector. Do their ethnicity work together even when they don't like each other? They work together to
Yeah.
prosper.
Right.
Then separate, and we just cannot do that for no reason. So we got to get better at it. Looking to do whatever I can to contribute to making it better. And the first thing is supporting Dr. Howard.
Hmm. So, what is the most expensive mistake you ever made? If you could talk about it, maybe not. I want to talk about your most expensive
Oh,
mistake.
probably, how about 268,000, somewhere around there, if not a little more.
When you discovered it, did you like scratch your head, or did you pass out, or did you go mad? Did you, take a chair and throw up against the wall or break a window? What was the reaction when you
No,
saw that?
look here. Well, that was, dude, I lose money all the time. So
Okay.
that's not a big deal. What was distasteful about it was the circumstances that it happened. It was with people I trusted. But,
Okay.
after that, and let me put it this way, it ain't like I took it lightly to begin with, because I end up sitting in all these, some headstones laid in their front yard.
Hmm. Yeah.
So that wasn't the right thing to do. So I knew I had to ask myself, what did I learn out of this? And here's the honest God truth. The Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, wait a minute, either you gonna take care of this way or this my way. And you need to be more concentrating on what we have you concentrating on. And right after that, the gutter tube popped in back up and resurfaced.
Hmm.
So just just to say, look here, you fix what you can fix, but you gotta let it go, because it's all right. I still eat, sleep, enjoy life. I still
Right.
do everything I would have done anyway.
There you
So,
go. Yeah.
I mean, and that wasn't the first. Yeah, there was a couple times I done lost that much. So you know what? If you can't, what's the old saying? If you can't play in the tall grass with the big dogs, then go sit on the porch.
What do you think would
If you
happen if
can't pee
social
in the tall
media
grass with the
disappeared?
big dog,
What do you think would happen if social media disappeared tomorrow? What do you think would happen
I
with the
think people
mind?
would be astonished, but I think they would have to find that they got to go back to talking to each other.
Hmm.
You can't be doing stuff with a cloak on.
You don't think they want to do
Um,
that?
you,
Talk to each other?
well, they don't have to right now. Not when you
Right.
can text. People can be in the same room and texting each other. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? See
Sad.
that's sad.
It's sad.
That's sad. And so, and there are some people I've met over the last few years that they won't even talk on the phone. All they do is text, and I'm like, okay, I got 2 words: goodbye. That's it.
Yeah.
That ain't me. I ain't doing it.
Right. Right. Well,
And the
look.
only 2 words I can text right now is goodbye,
Goodbye. You know. Well,
goodbye.
would you
But
would you
so
feel
no, I
like you say
think
goodbye
we
to
did.
them? Would they be at a loss, or be you'd be gaining? How does that exchange go when you say goodbye to somebody and you write them off, or you just wait till they ready? They're not ready for you. They're not ready to hatch. They're not ready to take on what you're talking about.
No, they just, no, it had no purpose, no good purpose. And I wasn't gonna start something that's just not me, and that's not me.
Hmm.
You know. So if that's how they communicate and make sense to them, then more power to them. But I'm old school. I want to see your eyes, hear your voice, because I want to understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
With
me
all
too.
that texting, you know what I mean? Too
Yeah,
many things get
they
misconstrued,
do.
and I ain't
They
got
do.
time. I'm too old for that.
Yeah, but it's funny that they don't know that though. Like, how come they don't know that? Is it lack of experience because they've not been in the environment to know that that's what's happening? You know, they're brainwashed. I would say.
No, no, it just is. I would say it's easy for them, and
Mm,
I find people kind of they hide behind texting, because you don't really have to confront nobody.
right.
You know what I mean? Reading the word is different than hearing the word. Hearing the word, somebody
Mm,
telling you something versus reading something. You can
okay.
dismiss it a lot easier. So No, that just ain't me. I always tell people, you know what? If you want to talk to me, call me.
Okay. Let me ask you one more, and then we're gonna kind of get ready to close it out. But you ever had an idea so good that you was actually afraid of it? Now you've been with metal and tanks, and you've worked with all kinds of projects and things. Did you ever have something that, man, that's brilliant? Like, like nuclear power could, I would think they would. Some guys were. I think Einstein was afraid of it. He said, "I don't think we should do this, but this is how it works." It's like, but the military said, "Oh, you know what? We'll take it on. Don't worry about that. We'll cover it. We'll get the scientists. We ain't got to use you. We'll Einstein. We'll get somebody else." You ever had an idea that was brilliant that you either financially you didn't want to touch it, or you just knew how dangerous it was, or you just didn't want to put you in, like I said, financial debt or something? That was such a great idea. Maybe it's not a great idea for yourself.
No, well, the closest I would say coming to that was when I was designing armor for the government. You know, just knowing that people's lives depended on what I did,
Right.
what I designed and what I built had to save these people. And knock on wood, 3.5 years, I never had one casualty.
Okay. Wow, that's good. That's something to say. You know, you probably all got all kind of awards and certificates on your wall over
No,
there.
no, dude, I was in the background.
Okay.
Halliburton got all of the accolades
Do
and
they?
all that. I was
Yeah.
like, I was, I was the grunt.
Uh-huh.
But it is what it is. Um, there's a lot of military trucks that is mine, but here's the thing: when you work on government projects, all intellectual property belong to the government.
Okay.
So uh, it's gone. But like the egress windows that you pop out when
Yeah.
a truck roll over, those were mine. The front grill that you flip down that had a ladder on it. That I mean, dude, that is so.
Yeah.
But so
The
inventing stuff, I do it all the time. Being a designer, I mean,
uh-huh.
that's my
Right.
background. I mean, I worked on advanced product design for cars at Ford.
Okay. Well, we're gonna close this show out. Talk to me Tuesday. I'm gonna give you the last word, Derek. You got people all over like a roundabout of inventors and business. It's just people like listen to people talk about different things and events in their lives. So, what would you say to somebody that you think that's listening that that be to their advantage? Let the Lord use you. What do you think somebody might want to know about you, about situations, about anything that's been you had a nap today, something hit you today, and say, I need to tell people this. I need to tell people about this or something
Well,
about this.
first and foremost, kind of since somebody was asking about the environment, the
Yeah,
political environment we live in, the
yeah,
business environment, we are in an environment where we need everybody now to stand up and be noticed and to be accountable. Um, no more thinking that because you may have it good, it's not coming to your doorstep. It
yeah.
is coming to your doorstep, just not yet. So we've always looked at the past, um, Rosa Parks and everybody
Yep.
that did something, Dr.
Hmm.
King. Well, guess what? It's our turn this time. This is our history book moment,
Yep.
and
I'll
we
turn it
need
back.
everybody to stand up and show up.
I like that. Very well said. Very well said. So I'm at the circuit here. This show is over with right now. It's just usually a half-hour show, and I think we got all our bids in on what we wanted to talk about, and I think that we're going to do it again next Tuesday. And so keep watching. Those who are watching the show and got information or questions, feel free to give us a call at 248-736-2100, or you can hit us up at our EIG organization if you want to, or you can email me. There's lots of ways to contact myself and Derek. So Derek's project is the Gutter
Hey,
Tool, and this is the
and
time of the year to
we
get it,
can have
right?
a part two to this one. Yeah, we
Okay,
can have a part two to this one. If they really want to get back on the environment, let's have a part two later on.
let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm looking forward to it. All right, D, I appreciate the time, man. Thank you so much, man. It means a lot. It means a whole lot.
All right, everybody be blessed.
All right. That's my boy there, boy. Partner in crime. So if you guys have any questions, again, I appreciate you guys watching the show and being a part of it. So feel free to call us later on. Give us a call. All right. Talk to you later.